On the 16th of June, 2023, the Polar Prince, a Canadian icebreaker, set sail from Newfoundland, towing the Titan submersible and carrying the 5-man crew for an expedition to the Titanic's watery gravesite. What happens next will not just send shockwaves across the globe, but leave an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. According to the US Coast Guard, the submersible initiated its descent journey at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. A day earlier, British billionaire and the owner of Action Group, Hamish Harding, who was one of the 5 tourists aboard the submersible, wrote on his Facebook page, "Due to the worst winter in Newfoundland in 40 years, this mission is likely to be the first and only manned mission to the Titanic in 2023. A weather window has just opened up, and we are going to attempt a dive tomorrow." About an hour and 45 minutes later, all communications with the submersible are lost. Since the loss of communication was quite a common phenomenon with the vessel, it didn't ring an alarm bell immediately. Almost 7 hours after the dive, the vessel failed to resurface even at the final deadline of 3 p.m. Not long after, the frantic crew of the Polar Prince contacts the US Coast Guard, informing them about the missing sub. The US and Canadian Coast Guard teams began an extensive aerial search effort the next day and deployed sonar buoys for detecting any acoustic signatures. France joins the search effort and deploys the Atalante, a ship equipped with a deep-sea diving vessel. Later that day, Canadian aircraft detected intermittent banging noises in the search area. The US Coast Guard announced via Twitter that they have directed the remotely operated vehicles toward the area of the sounds. The vessel's 96-hour supply of oxygen was forecasted to run out sometime in the early morning. At 3 p.m. came the announcement that a debris field was found just 500 meters from the wreckage of the Titanic, and the debris was consistent with the loss of the pressure chamber and an implosion. At the time of making this video, an official investigation was still underway, but several subject matter experts have voiced their opinion on this incident. But before digging further into the causes behind the incident, let us briefly look at the basic design of the submersible. The hull, depicted in yellow color in this image, was made of carbon fiber, and the 2 end caps shown in green were made of titanium. It had 2 horizontal and 2 vertical electric thrusters, and a single acrylic porthole window. Just behind this porthole was a portable toilet with a screen for privacy. The rear section contained the electronics and the oxygen tanks, the iridium antenna to transmit the submersible's position after surfacing, a landing frame to sit on flat surfaces. Attached to it are the weights, which allow the vessel to sink and then be dropped off in order to return to the surface. The interior contained 3 control screens. One was a general display unit. The other 2 were for submersible control and sonar display. The submersible was steered using a modified Logitech wireless gamepad. In the aftermath of the news of the missing submersible started making headlines across the world, several experts voiced their opinions on what might have happened with it. James Cameron, a filmmaker and renowned ocean explorer who reached the Challenger Deep, the deepest known point of the Earth's seabed in 2012, said in an interview on the ABC News show Good Morning America, "You don't use composites for vessels that are seeing external pressure. They're great for internal pressure vessels like scuba tanks, for example, but they're terrible for external pressure." He further adds, "I had deep concerns about the technology they were using. Composite fiber wound filament hull, which I don't believe has any place in deep submergence." What he was essentially referring to is the hoop winding method, which entails wrapping carbon fiber around a cylindrical core. This method is effective in aerospace applications such as airliner fuselages or internal pressure vessels like gas tanks, where the tensile strength of carbon fiber withstands internal pressures. However, in situations involving external pressure, such as ocean depths, the carbon fiber experiences compression. The compressive strength of carbon fiber is significantly lower than the tensile strength. Being an anisotropic material that exhibits different properties and behaviors in different directions, carbon fiber may incur minor damages when subjected to cyclic loading. This means that every time the submersible dives to depths and returns, it may accumulate small fractures. A few have also pointed out the choice of using a cylindrical hull, which was unlike other deep submergence vehicles that used a spherical hull. Spherical shapes distribute external pressure more evenly compared to other shapes. Another critical issue that people have pointed out is the design depth of the submersible, which is 4,000 meters. The wreckage of the Titanic lies at a depth of approximately 3,800 meters. This means that every time the submersible traveled to the Titanic's wreckage site, it was operating close to its design limitations. David Lockridge, who was the director of marine operations at OceanGate and was fired from the company in 2018, made several safety violation-related allegations against the company in his lawsuit. The most prominent among them was regarding the submersible's viewport, which he alleges was only certified up to 1,300 meters and not 4,000 meters, which is not sufficient to handle the pressure at the Titanic's depth of 3,800 meters. In his lawsuit, Lockridge had also raised concerns about the lack of non-destructive testing on the submersible's hull. He was told that no equipment existed to perform such a test, and OceanGate would rely solely on an acoustic monitoring system. Lockridge expressed concern regarding this method, as acoustic analysis would only show when a component is about to fail. The link to this article in the lawsuit are in the description. According to The New Yorker, the report that Lockridge drafted in 2018 and presented to the OceanGate leaders highlighted several deficiencies with the submersible, including signs of delamination and porosity that could cause it to come apart after repeated dives. Then there were issues of galvanic corrosion, the use of flammable flooring, O-ring groove design issues, and others. Shockingly, in an email exchange with Rob McCallum, a deep ocean exploration expert, the late Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate, dismissed these safety warnings as baseless cries. In an interview with a Mexican YouTuber, Ailing Salmundo, he states, "I've broken some rules to make this. I think I've broken with logic and good engineering behind me. The carbon fiber and titanium, there's a rule you don't do that." Well, I did. Accidents are not mere coincidences or random occurrences. Behind every accident lies a chain of causes, intricately connected like the links of a chain. Each link represents a factor or event that contributes to the occurrence of an accident. The OceanGate incident serves as a grave reminder of the consequences of neglecting safety and risk management. By disregarding them, we expose ourselves to unnecessary dangers that could have been mitigated or avoided altogether. Safety protocols and risk management exist for a reason, as they are designed to protect us from harm and maintain a secure environment. Neglecting them not only puts ourselves at risk, but also compromises the safety of others who may be affected by our actions or inactions. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And hey, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to stay updated with all our latest uploads.